Welcome to LSB Feaster's Radio Air Check and Classic TV channel.
Yeah, that was her plan in April. He wasn't even dead.
To embalm him. That way she'd never lose her Ferdinand.
But that's what, I guess he's going to be on display. You know, his mother is on display in the Philippines. Because...
She's dead. She's embalmed, too.
No, she's a hooker.
Hey, but you know what? Yeah, you know what kills me, though? You know, people go, well, don't you worry. Now, God has him, and he'll pay for all of his misdeeds. Meanwhile, the guy's
he's just dead.
Yeah, the guy's just dead. He's not going anywhere. Worms are eating him. And worms aren't even eating him. Yeah, he's embalmed.
There you go.
He's like a deer on somebody's wall.
Yeah, he's going to be mounted like a trophy.
Yeah, so here's a guy who just basically abused the Filipinos all those years, and he's going to die, and nothing's going to happen, and he got all that U.S. aid, and he saved it for himself.
We didn't even get to send him to jail.
Yeah, now that witch will probably get away with everything, because she'll say her husband did everything. She didn't know anything. Ugh.
Bitch.
But anyway, yes, his mother, I was going to tell you, is on display in the Philippines. They wanted to keep her above ground until Ferdinand returned to see her buried. So I guess she'll be up for the rest of time, too.
Yeah, she's going to be above ground for a while.
Worms aren't even eating his mother. So. Jackie Mason was at a press conference yesterday, Howard.
Well, we had him on the air.
I don't know who that was. But Jackie Mason did try to explain his statements made to the Village Voice.
Okay. He looks embalmed.
Reporters yesterday.
Is he embalmed, Robin?
Well, somebody described him in the paper today as a pasty-faced comedian.
Yeah. But it was a black columnist who wasn't too thrilled. You know. But it's true, he's a very disturbing-looking man. And don't think Jews like that chicken soup show. I mean, I'm sure that they're...
did you know that Soup show got 200 calls after people heard about the Village Voice?
They called the show.
Yeah, they called, what is it, ABC or NBC?
Hello, it's Jackie Mason. Who is this? What are you calling my show for? This is the show. This is the real Jackie Mason. This is the show Jackie Mason.
Yeah, they called WABC. They got about 200 calls, people complaining. But they think that WLIB put people up to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they think that LIB called for its listeners to call ABC during the show and complain.
I think the Jews were calling too, but they called collect.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's how they could tell.
They could tell. All right. So we want to hear...
Yes, this is what Jackie Mason said at his press conference yesterday.
To call me a racist is the same thing as calling me a Nazi.
Okay.
Nazi.
I'm as much of a Nazi as I am a racist. I care more for the black people.
Oh no, I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. He cares for the black people.
He really talked his way out of it, don't you think?
Wait a second. I think we have a little left here.
Than probably anybody in the history of this country.
He's so funny.
Well, then I guess.
And I have a lot of black friends. I know Bill Cosby.
Well, no, he actually had a black guy sitting there with him.
Oh, he did?
Yes, to prove that he had a black friend.
Who is it?
And he even produced checks, canceled checks from donations he'd made to the NAACP and other black causes.
Here's his black friend.
Years.
We have a tape of his black friend.
What?
The youth in these areas must now be taught a trade.
It was Jesse Jackson.
Oh, stop that. No, what else did Jackie have to say?
Jackie Mason?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of clips.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Oh, good. That's a great clip, Fred. Should save that one.
Oh, there's some good ones here.
Okay.
Every white man I know thinks of me as a bigot against whites because every time an opportunity comes up to help somebody, I've all my life done it more for the black man than for the white. Because I feel whites have been black people have been underdogs in this city and in this country long enough, and I resent and detest any white man, and I bust his head open if he could make a racial slur against a black person in front of me.
Oh, is this guy a mental case?
Oh, I'm telling you.
You know, this is my point about him. He's a good stand-up comic. And that's it.
But why would you expect him to be a political pundit?
Yeah. And he doesn't know what he's doing. He's mental. But that's what makes great stand-up comics.
You know, he had time to think about the world, according to me. That's why it makes sense.
Yeah, right. He got to write it down and think about it.
Yeah, he had time to flesh that out.
And the reason that everyone's laughing at him now is because he's trying to act seriously. But this is what he does in the world, according to me. He makes statements like this, but it's funny.
Yeah.
You got some more.
I say Jews have a very severe sick complex. They have a severe problem. They have to prove to themselves they're good Americans by not voting for a Jew or not voting for an Italian. They have to prove they're voting for a minority to prove that they're good Americans.
But a minority isn't an Italian? I don't know. I don't get it. He's really dug a hole in
I don't know. For a minute, I didn't think he knew what Rudy Giuliani was. For a Jew. He's not Jewish? Oh, an Italian.
What is it? What? This is that's the funniest clip is this one, though.
Every white man I know thinks of me as a bigot against whites because every time an opportunity comes up to help somebody, I've all my life done it more for the black man than for the white. Because I feel...
Who's he arguing with there?
They're reporters just yelling at him.
They don't believe it. This is better than Zsa Zsa Gabor.
He said he had 70 hecklers in a room with those reporters standing around.
Hey, I'm trying to get out a few words.
Whites have been black people have been underdogs in this city and in this country long enough, and
ABC's going, we put him on TV. He's not even doing that good after Roseanne. And
I think they're reading that handwriting on the wall.
yeah, I think this is a man in trouble. This is a man who just really needs to rest.
This is a man who is desperate.
I'm a man. What he said, though, is...
It's what a lot of people feel. That's
right, exactly.
Sure. That's one thing for sure.
resent and detest any white man, and I'd bust his head open if he could make a racial slur against a black person in front of me.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
I bust his head.
Yeah, I don't think he would bust somebody's head for making a racial slur.
Jackie, man.
Yeah, I don't think he ain't kicking anybody's ass.
He's no head buster.
Yeah, I think if Shelley here made a racial statement, he just would sit there and drool. That would be it. Wouldn't bust anybody's head open.
You belly that?
I would bust open the head of any man. Ooh, I'm shaking.
Ooh, Jackie.
Ooh, tough man. Ooh.
And his basic explanation of the things he said in the Village Voice article were that he is making a joke, and obviously nobody got it.
Nobody.
Just like the show.
Nobody gets his joke.
But anyway, that's rude.
He's a funny guy.
That's Jackie Mason.
Yeah, we know him.
Meanwhile, Dan Rather is hiding from people. He's not talking about this latest investigation over at CBS. They're trying to figure out if they actually did just show staged footage of the Afghan war several different times on the CBS News. So they're investigating themselves to see if they can figure out what went on. And it looks like they could lose the award if it turns out that that was just staged footage, not real actual war footage.
That would be a real shame.
Yes, because that's never happened. That's unprecedented. But Dan Rather's not talking about it. You know, nobody, you know how 60 Minutes, the show he came from, is known for chasing people down and demanding interviews whenever they want to get to the bottom of a story. But Dan wasn't talking to reporters yesterday.
What's Shelley still doing here?
You told her she could
Howard, you promised it.
Well, she did take off all her clothes.
All of them.
Okay.
There's a new magazine out that we have to get a hold of.
The Dan Rather magazine, where he has exclusive footage of Jackie Mason in a Nazi uniform during World War II. And it's not staged.
No, it is called Out Week. It's a new gay publication, and they do this once every couple of months. They have an article called Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
Yeah, it's just a box
Right.
where they list names. And according to Amy Pagnozzi of the Post columnist, she says that these are the names of gay people who are still in the closet.
Oh, I see. And by not saying what the list is,
They just say Peekaboo.
who's on the list?
They don't. She doesn't list their names. I only have her column about this.
see.
I tried to get the magazine today, but we can't find it yet. We'll have to track it down.
We'll track that down and then read the Sandra Bernhardt article.
Right. Yes. But there's a whole list, and they say very prominent people. They even named 3 people in the government in Maryland.
Really?
Yeah, they named well-known people. These are people that you know.
Wow.
And they just list them because they say they're wrong to stay in the closet.
Is Fred Norris on that list?
Well, we'll have to find out. Let's get I don't know exactly who's on the list.
Right.
But their attitude is that it's wrong if you're gay at this point, and you could be a role model for the gay community to remain in the closet. They say that these people are Uncle Tom faggots. That's what they call them.
Isn't Jackie Mason on that list? To tell you the truth, I was never Uncle Tom faggot. I don't know what you're talking about. I love you so much. I don't understand. What are you saying?
They also say that people who write gossip, gay people who write gossip in New York, have an obligation to boycott Pat Buckley because her husband, William, once suggested that people with AIDS be tattooed. So
we should boycott people. That's their answer.
yeah.
He's not entitled to his opinion.
No.
Okay.
He's wrong.
He's wrong and they're right.
That's right.
That's it.
Jesse Jackson
Yeah.
is taking this whole Hurricane Hugo thing.
Oh, good. Is he out of the country now?
No.
Oh.
He's not out of the country. He's taking it as his big, political banner now. South Carolina was devastated by the hurricane, so he's down there every few days, and he's going to be taking provisions back. And yesterday he was blasting President Bush for not having gone and seen the area yet.
Okay, I'll go
We
along
need
with that.
Our president down there to look at this devastation.
Yeah, better he's down there than in Manhattan tying up traffic, creating his own devastation. I'm telling you.
So he was he was saying what he saw in these news clips we have of Jesse.
But what really is more devastating, the hurricane or seeing Jesse Jackson moving into your neighborhood? When you think about it.
You have to ask the people of Washington, D.C. that.
All right, here we go.
I saw Saturday the rich and the poor,
What?
the black and the white,
Where'd you see
the
that?
lion and the lamb.
The lion and the lamb.
Yeah, see, that's the part I dispute.
I think
I
he
don't
was-
think there are any lions in South
I
Carolina.
think he was in Africa and didn't know it.
In the state of common ground, in food lines.
What was that word?
Food lines.
Who lied?
Food
Oh,
lines.
food lines.
Yeah, food lines.
Who lines? Oh, maybe tickets for the Who are on sale. Who lines?
lines.
Who lines? Yeah, Townsend's awesome. Who lines? Who lines?
Water lines and gas lines.
Right on. All right. There's a politically explosive issue. Let me see what else you have to say.
The youth in these areas must now be taught a trade and a skill
How about the English
to
language?
rebuild where they live. I'm convinced
Rebuild before they live?
Rebuild where they live.
Oh, all right. They're doing just fine selling crack. Leave them alone, okay?
one of the most effective ways to fight a war on drugs is to fight a war on poverty. The key to fighting a war on poverty is to enable our youth to elevate themselves and have a higher sense of self-respect and self-esteem.
Whoa. A higher what?
What? I don't
That's not a cephaset. A cephaset? What's a cephaset, Robin?
He's got Tourette's.
What is that? A what?
I think he was saying self-respect.
Oh, okay.
Theme.
I got to
that
hear it
was the
again.
end of that.
I got to hear it again. That's pretty good if you got that right. You're getting the prize. You get the trophy.
I think I win.
You win.
But this is staged. I'd heard it before.
I see. Oh, okay. You had time to interpret. And I was impressed. I have a speech impediment.
Good God Almighty, what the hell am I saying? A self-respect. Self-respect.
I have a speech impediment. Shirley, how in love with you are with me on this? She's laughing, clapping.
Oh, yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah. I could bed her down in 5 seconds. Wouldn't it be difficult?
Come on, not that long.
Let's just hear that one more time.
The youth in these areas must now be taught a trade and a skill to rebuild where they live. I'm convinced that one of the most effective ways to fight a war
Oh, I
on
confess.
Oh, is that what he said?
I confess one of the
No,
most
it's later
effective
on.
ways. No, he says, no, He says, I confess.
He said I confess? What is he confessing?
He says, I confess one of the best.
No, it's I'm convinced.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And I grew up in a black neighborhood. I should be able to interpret this stuff. Maybe all those years I didn't
You're
know anyone
getting
say.
rusty.
Maybe they weren't saying, I'm going to kick your ass. Maybe say, I like your ass. I don't know what they said.
And maybe they just felt you didn't like them because you kept running away.
Right. I don't know. Where you running, boy? I thought they said, start running, boy, and they were just saying, where you running? I see. Big misunderstanding.
drugs is to fight a war on poverty. The key to fighting a war on poverty is to enable our youth to elevate themselves and have a higher sense of self-respect and self-esteem.
Oh, forget it. A what? A higher... What did you say that is? A higher...
Self-respect and self-esteem.
A higher self-respect and self-esteem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's I convince or I'm convinced or I confess.
This can't be a spokesperson for the black people. It's just too funny. Maybe the blacks all those years were trying to give me their lunch money. And I didn't know it. Hey, man, I won't give you my lunch money. Oh, here it is. I said I won't get you my lunch money. Oh, okay. It's in my sock. Man, you's a dumb white bastard. And I go, oh, they hate me. That's what it was.
Because you didn't understand.
I didn't understand. The whole racial relation thing was just way off.
What? See there?
It was a bunch of black guys who talk like Jesse Jackson. Oh, man, these tapes are great. Where do you get this stuff?
Have you had enough of
Where do you
Jesse?
get this stuff?
I dig.
You're the best newswoman. There you go, standing ovation.
Oh, thank you.
From Shelley, but she's naked. Those are her breasts flapping together.
Just for you, Robin.
Like a seal. All right, anyway.
Leona Helmsley has now been accused of robbing her husband of $90 million. Apparently, she signed a prenuptial agreement, Howard.
Right.
That if he died, this is the funniest prenuptial agreement I ever heard. It has nothing to do with divorce. It's if he dies before her.
Yes.
She can only get certain amounts of property and money. He had it set up so even after he died, she couldn't get everything.
He controlled from the grave.
Yes.
It's like my will.
So what she did, maybe your wife will be listening.
Yeah.
She just snuck into Harry's safe deposit box and grabbed herself some bearer bonds worth about $90 million.
Wow. That's what he keeps in the safe deposit box, huh?
Yeah.
A couple of bonds.
Well, I don't think this wasn't all of it. She just grabbed $90 million worth.
Wow.
And put it into her own safe deposit box, according to some guy who used to work for her. And then as he got more and more addled, as he got older, she just started shoving papers in front of him to sign.
Oh, yeah.
That transferred property into her name.
But she really loves him.
Oh,
Who wouldn't? It's like Shelley loves me.
I do love you.
I know.
I know.
Well, anyway, that's what this guy is claiming. He's now suing her because he says that she kept back $30 million in salary and funds that he was supposed to get as income or something.
Wow.
So she's suing him. But he says this is what she was doing while being married to Harry to make sure that she got everything. Because she was signing over property, hotels, the house in Connecticut, everything she could get her hands on.
What a coontash.
I'm telling you. But that's just an allegation. That's just an allegation. I don't want to act as if it's fact.
Women. Let's get back to Jesse Jackson.
No, this is an incredible story, Howard.
Uh-oh.
The murder trial of Alfred Hardy continues today. This is up in Albany. I didn't know
Alfred Hardy is dead?
No, he's not. He's on trial for murder.
Oh, I got nervous. I thought...
This is a Newburgh man who's been charged with stabbing his girlfriend's baby in the head with a steak knife.
Wouldn't eat?
No. He claims that he had just finished dinner and was getting up from the table.
I'm still hungry.
And the kid tripped him.
When he tripped and accidentally stuck the knife in the baby's head.
Oh, I was just kidding.
That's what he says happened. However, they're not buying it.
Right, no one's buying it.
No, because he's also been accused of sexually abusing his girlfriend's girlfriend's child, her daughter, the girlfriend's daughter.
That's because he was walking in the kitchen, he slipped on a banana peel, and his hand fell under her dress.
Her dress, right.
Didn't he accidentally beat his wife into a coma with a spoon? I read something about that.
He fell.
Yeah, he fell.
But the defense is saying this is ridiculous because this man only has an IQ of 69.
Oh, geez.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, he's as bright as a monkey.
Right, and couldn't read the statement being attributed to him.
I see.
And was not involved in the attacks, and he wasn't even in the area when the crimes occurred. That's his, prosecution, or his defense attorney saying that.
Where did you go to college, Adelphi?
I said, this is the most convoluted thing I've ever heard. He claims to have tripped, but his lawyer says he can't read that statement, so he doesn't know what that says.
So why don't we just fly Gary in to communicate with him? And then everyone will be all set.
And how do they know he has an IQ of 69? But that's what they're saying.
Maybe he enjoys 69 or something. Maybe they got it wrong.
In Pontiac, Michigan, a man who was pronounced fit and released from a mental hospital cut off his left hand for the second time in 7 months with a circular saw. Yeah.
Second time.
They put it back the first time.
What's he, a starfish?
The hand had been reattached the first time, but could not be saved again. He said the hand was useless and he didn't want it anymore.
Right. Probably
That he wanted to kill himself, but he's feeling okay now and doesn't want to do any more because the hand is gone.
He must be like one of those guys who thinks his hand is like Satan's hand or something.
Yeah, or something.
How to purge himself of that. Yeah,
He's 27 years old, and he was released on August 28th from a state-run hospital, and they said he was doing fine. He moved into a home with 5 other mental patients. That could have drove him crazy.
I'm sure they feel good about it.
They said, let me see, there was every indication that he was doing well before his release, according to people at the hospital. The man cut the hand off in February in a suicide attempt.
His left hand?
Yeah.
Oh, then he's all right.
Oh, stop that.
You need that right hand.
Monday, he bought a circular saw. So he was real deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Checked into a motel and did it again. But this time he used a jagged cut, Howard. And that way it could not be reattached. So he thought this out.
Don't we have tape of him?
What? I can't imagine. Can you imagine cutting off your own hand
Oh, I
with
can't
a
imagine
saw?
it. Oh.
I mean, really sitting down and planning it?
What's worse is he went to a motel and did it instead of messing up his own house.
Well, he lived with all those other mental patients.
I
He didn't
see.
want to upset them.
Oh.
So anyway, and of course, Zsa Zsa's life now is in the hands of her jury. They gave closing arguments yesterday, and Zsa Zsa was so upset by what the prosecution said, Howard, she ran out of the courtroom again.
Cool.
And this is what she told reporters when she ran out.
Okay.
I'm working 35 years in this town. It's my livelihood. I'm an actress. I'm not a streetwalker.
What did you say that made you
I will say nothing.
Are you coming back?
It's hard to understand. You know?
They're just outside the courtroom, and they're all jumbled around. But she's like saying, look, I've been 35 years in this town. I'm an actress. I'm not a streetwalker. She doesn't like the way she's being treated.
She ought to cut her ass off with a saw.
Use that jagged cut so they can't put it back.
Well, let's see. I got another tape here. Let's see if we can hear
All
it.
right.
Okay.
I come from Nazi Hungary. Now, they were fairer than here.
Her and Jesse Jackson ought to get together. like an interesting conversation between the two of them, Sort of like.
The youth in these areas
Hungary, they were fairer than...
Oh, there they
must now be taught.
killed you. Here they don't kill you, they kill you with words.
Sort of one of those things. I don't know what the hell she's mumbling about.
She says the Nazi Hungary, they were fairer than they are here.
Oh, so tell her to get the hell out of the country.
The reporter said they were fairer in Nazi Hungary. She says, yeah, there they kill you. Here they don't kill you.
Oh, God.
That's fair to Zsa Zsa.
She is such a loon.
So anyway, they should be coming back with a verdict. She could get up to 18 months in jail if found guilty. And in Gainesville, Florida, a former University of Florida student has been indicted on murder charges in the shooting death of an associate professor. Jens Peter Hansen was indicted on Tuesday.
Jens Peter Hansen?
Jens is his name, yes.
He was indicted what?
On Tuesday on charges that he broke into the home of Arthur Kimura on September 1st and shot him after a scuffle.
Who's naming these criminals?
I don't know. Kimura, also 41, was a member of the academic committee that denied Hansen a doctorate 3 weeks before the shooting.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he was upset that he didn't get his Ph.D., so he went back and shot one of the professors. That's what they're saying, anyway, down in Florida. And today on the Donahue Show, our good friend Joe Clark will be there speaking about education. And I guess the panel subject today is controversial teachers. So, Joe Clark.
Joe Clark and Gabe Kaplan together again. With their different teaching methods. Our buddy.
That's what's happening, yeah.
Want to bring in those Austrian guys? I mean,
Sure.
Australian.
Australian guys.
Yeah, there's some Australian broadcasters out there who want to talk
Why
to us.
do broadcasters from other countries always visit us?
Because then they can see what we do and rip it off, I guess. They think they can do that. I don't know what they do. They do a wacky morning show over in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the. I don't know. They all come and visit me. Why don't they go visit the zoo? Because the State Department won't let them visit the zoo. Afraid they'll get a
Really?
bad impression. Well, let me take a commercial break and then we'll bring those guys in. Shelley, can you leave now?
No.
Oh, come on.
No. You promised, and I will be sitting on the floor.
Okay.
Okay.
She should be naked for those.
Oh, dear. Oh, please.
Show them how to really do so. I say, hey, Shelley, get naked. And all of a sudden they get naked, and the guy go, whoa, this guy's got some power in this country.
I think if she was just naked when they walked in, like it was perfectly normal.
Nah, screw those guys. They don't get to see my girls naked.
That's right. Howard takes care of his girl.
She's mine, Robin.
All right.
All right, we're going to break for commercial. We'll be back right after this.
In October, 92.3 K-Rock and Northwest Airlines present not just a world tour, but a special limited gold edition world tour. One very lucky K-Rocker and their guest will get a chance to see the first game in the World Series, wherever it's held in the USA. Then the next week, K-Rock and Northwest will fly them to Tokyo to catch the first game of their version of the World Series. To enter, just send a postcard with your name, address, day and nighttime phone numbers to World Series World Tour, care of K-Rock, 600 Madison Avenue, New York, New York, 10022. You must be 21 years of age or older to enter with a valid passport. The U.S. trip leaves October 13th and the Tokyo trip the following week. Postcards must be received by October 4th at 6 p.m. Winner to be announced on the Tony Pig Show, Friday, October 6th. K-Rock's limited gold edition world tour to the World Series in the USA and more baseball in Tokyo. Brought to you by Northwest Airlines, flying more people to Asia from the U.S. than any other airline. And New York's only classic rock and roll radio station, 92.3 K-Rock.
Unbelievable. Shelley, stay out of the way, will you?
I'm not in the way.
All right.
I'll take my clothes off for the dudes. No.
You will?
No, you don't want
Will you take your clothes off when Meg walks in?
Oh, jeez.
to flip that. I'll do it.
Right. Okay. All right, bring those dudes in. Let's find out their story. What is it, John?
No.
Oh. She walks through the street in those pants. The whole ass of her pants is cut out.
I know.
And she says she doesn't wear. She wears no underwear.
Right, she usually does. She has the underwear on now, but she usually doesn't wear underwear.
And why does she have it on now?
I don't know.
Have one on.
Your underwear.
You know what? I'm going to take it off.
Good. Smart. I'd like to see that. Hey, guys.
G'day.
G'day, Howard.
Good day.
Good eye.
Good day.
Who's everyone knows g'day, mate?
I like Australians. Australians are mellow. They like
Hey, that's a
Americans.
nice country,
I would even
even.
go to that country.
Yeah.
There's no hostile people there. They're going to cut your legs off.
True.
I'm into Australia.
Yeah, you been there?
Never been there, but I like the concept.
Takes a long time to get there, though, Howard.
G'day, Robin.
How long?
Hello. About
yeah.
36 hours.
It's Robin over there.
All right, knock off the good day crap, all right?
All right, okay.
They're so happy, these
No more good
Australians.
days.
Ever since Rupert Murdoch invaded this country, although I took him down about 10 steps. It's pretty obnoxious. I don't blame you guys for Rupert Murdoch, though.
All right. What's
So
that?
anyway, Shelley, are you going to be annoying?
No.
All right, sit back in your chair. You got to leave.
I'm just going to get closer. Come
Okay, all right, just move back. She was naked 5 minutes ago.
Why?
You guys ever have naked girls on your show?
No, never.
You got ball girls or something?
Ball girls,
Ball
right?
girls.
Yeah, you got it. All right, what's the deal? What do you want to do? You want to learn from us?
Yeah, here to pinch ideas.
You want to tell Robin the Paul Hogan story?
Yeah, we
Oh,
could do
yeah.
that, yeah.
Paul Hogan said that if ever you get to New York, you got to listen to this guy who's ruder than all hell.
You'd either be sacked or
Cool.
shot.
Paul Hogan listens to this show?
He listened when he was in New York, I don't know, a year or so ago when he
Yeah.
made Croc Dundee 1.
Oh, you should have done the show then.
So why do all these guys,
They
celebrities,
listen,
listen and they won't
then
come on the
they
show?
don't call, they don't come.
Did you ask him?
Crocodile Dundee?
Yeah.
You see what it is? When we call their PR guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do that. Got to call them direct.
And then the PR guys
Say no.
Well, how do I call him direct?
Well, we'll give you his phone number.
You got his phone number?
We'll get it. We'll get it for you.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
All right.
Yeah,
Can you swap
You
us
guys
some
are disc jockeys, okay?
No,
unless in Australia, disc jockeys are held up.
Well, it's
in high
not
regard.
that big a country, is it?
Can you swap us for something else? I mean, we give you one.
What are you doing in New York? Are you on like a fact-finding tour about radio?
Yeah, looking for a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you were trying to get a job on the air in New York?
Yeah, right.
You think the Aussie invasion is still on,
I don't
huh?
know. Is it or not?
And what do you guys do, like a wacky morning show?
Yeah, a bit of talk and a bit of music, bit of everything.
What?
Yeah.
Not as
whack.
wacky as this, though.
No, no.
Jeez, this is something else.
Hard to get wacky as this.
Yeah.
You're either born this way or you're not.
You got to be born this way.
Give me
Or
show
listen to
us.
a lot of my old tapes.
We said, Hogan, we said,